This is an emergency message from the Colorado Emergency Management Agency in cooperation with local authorities. A civil emergency message has been issued for the following counties: Jefferson, Arapahoe, Douglas, Elbert, and Weld. Local law enforcement has reported a growing number of unexplained disappearances across the region. Reports indicate individuals have vanished without apparent cause, leaving behind personal belongings and vehicles. Witnesses describe no signs of struggle or forced entry in affected homes. The most recent case involves Daniel Holloway, 32, of Aurora, last seen at approximately 11:45 p.m. MST near Cherry Creek State Park. He is described as 6'1", 190 pounds, short brown hair, wearing a black North Face jacket and blue jeans. Multiple reports indicate Holloway was speaking with someone on his phone before his line suddenly went silent. Authorities urge residents to take the following precautions: avoid traveling alone at night. Report any suspicious activity immediately. If someone you know is missing, call 911 or your local sheriff department. Do not engage with unknown individuals attempting to lure or distract you. If you have information regarding any missing persons, contact the Colorado Bureau of Investigation at 303-239-4211 or your local law enforcement agency. Further updates will be provided as more information becomes available. This is an emergency message from the Colorado Emergency Management Agency in coordination with state and federal authorities. A statewide shelter-in-place order is now in effect due to a rapidly escalating emergency. Authorities have received unconfirmed reports of over 10,000 missing persons across the state in the past 24 hours. The circumstances surrounding these disappearances remain unknown. There is no evidence of natural disasters, mass evacuations, or coordinated attacks. Reports suggest individuals are vanishing without explanation, often from their homes, workplaces, and public areas. All residents of Colorado are ordered to shelter in place immediately until further notice. Follow these instructions. Remain indoors. Lock all doors and windows. Do not attempt to travel unless absolutely necessary. Avoid contact with unknown individuals or suspicious activity. If someone in your home is missing, call 911 immediately. Stay tuned to local news, NOAA weather radio, or emergency channels for further updates. Law enforcement and emergency responders are working to assess the situation. Federal agencies have been mobilized to assist in the investigation. If you have any information on recent disappearances, report it to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation at 303-239-4211 or your local law enforcement agency. This is a statewide emergency. Remain indoors and await further instructions. This message will be updated as information becomes available.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. This is a national emergency message. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this message. This station, KXKL-FM 105.1 MHz, has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing critical news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is KXKL-FM 105.1 MHz, serving the Denver metro area. We will continue to provide updates for Denver, Boulder, and surrounding regions. If you are outside this area, tune into stations providing emergency updates for your local region. Do not use your telephone unless you require immediate emergency assistance. Telephone lines must remain open for urgent communications. The emergency alert system has been activated. Stand by for an official message from the federal government. Official federal message follows. This is an emergency declaration from the United States government. A catastrophic event is unfolding across the nation. Reports now confirm that mass disappearances have affected over 30 states, with estimates exceeding 1 million missing persons. The cause of these disappearances remains unknown, and there is no confirmed pattern regarding who is affected. Federal agencies, including FEMA, the Department of Homeland Security, and the National Guard, have been fully mobilized. Despite extensive efforts, authorities have found no evidence of mass evacuations, criminal activity, or biological agents. The disappearances continue at an alarming rate. All citizens are ordered to take immediate shelter. Remain indoors. Lock all doors and windows. Do not attempt to leave your home except for life-threatening emergencies. Avoid all unnecessary travel. Do not approach unfamiliar individuals. Do not attempt to contact missing persons via electronic devices, as some disappearances have reportedly occurred mid-communication. If you witness an individual vanishing, report it immediately to federal authorities. Martial law is now in effect in multiple regions, and curfews will be enforced by local law enforcement and the National Guard. Further instructions will be provided by emergency officials. This message will be updated as more information becomes available. Stay tuned to this station or other emergency broadcast frequencies for further alerts. Repeat, remain indoors and await official updates.
This is an official statement from the United States National Information Center. If you are receiving this broadcast, remain where you are and listen carefully. A catastrophic global event is unfolding. Reports confirm that the mass disappearances have now affected every nation on Earth. Several governments have collapsed, and critical infrastructure worldwide is failing due to the loss of key personnel. Law enforcement, emergency services, and military forces are severely impacted. The United States is not exempt from this crisis. As of 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have confirmed that the President of the United States, the Vice President, the Speaker of the House, and numerous members of Congress and the Supreme Court are among the missing. Under the established continuity of government protocols, an emergency provisional government is now in effect. Leadership has been transferred to the designated National Emergency Council, operating from secured locations. All branches of government are being restructured to maintain order and national security. Immediate instructions to the public: shelter in place, unless directed otherwise, remain in your homes or secure locations. Essential travel, only do not attempt to leave urban areas unless absolutely necessary. Major roads and highways may be unsafe. Avoid large gatherings. Civil unrest is being reported in multiple cities. Federal and military forces have been authorized to enforce emergency law. Report missing persons. If someone you know has vanished, document the last known time and location and report it to local authorities when possible. Conserve resources. The loss of key personnel has affected supply chains. Food, water, and fuel shortages are expected. Ration all essential supplies. Do not trust unverified information. Misinformation and panic are spreading. Rely only on official broadcasts and emergency radio transmissions. The National Guard, FEMA, and remaining federal agencies are working to maintain critical services. However, due to the unprecedented scale of this event, response capabilities are extremely limited. Law enforcement and military forces have been given full authority to restore order. To those who have lost loved ones, we grieve with you. To those who remain, we must stand together. This government will continue to function. This nation will endure. Further updates will be provided as more information becomes available. Stay tuned to this station and all emergency frequencies. God help you us all.
This is the United States government. If you are hearing this, this will be our final official broadcast. The situation has deteriorated beyond recovery. Global disappearances now exceed 70% of the world's population. Entire nations have ceased to function. Our own emergency government is no longer operational. The National Emergency Council has lost communication with most remaining agencies. Military command structures have collapsed. The power grid is failing. Within hours, all forms of electronic communication will be lost. We do not know the cause of this event. We do not know if it will stop. Final instructions. Find shelter. Protect yourself and those still with you. Preserve supplies. Food, water, and medicine will not be replenished. Stay together. You may be among the last survivors. Do not rely on rescue. No further government aid will be coming. To those who remain, you are on your own. We do not know what comes next. But if there is any future beyond this night, let history remember that we fought to the end. This is the United States government, signing off.